Hey friends, this is Ari Koinuma, and today I wanted to share an opinion about Jeff Gutt joining Stone Temple Pilots and why I am really excited about this. Um, Stone Temple Pilots were part of my upbringing. I played like Cracker Man and Sex Type things in cover band, and Scott Weiland was one of the icons of rock and roll, part of my upbringing. And of course Dean DeLeo, an amazing guitar player, and I've admired his songs or his guitar playing a lot. In fact, he and Robert have this thing about using jazz chords in hard rock, and that's really greatly influenced my songwriting. So Stone Temple Pilots have always been a big deal to me, but Scott had this really sinister and uh, jaded and a bit malicious character to him. That, for me, a goody two shoes guy, going to church, growing up, and everything like that, just it was hard to relate to that side of him. I can see where, that's part of his charm too to some people, or some might relate to that, but that part of it really always kind of shaded Stone Temple Pilots to me. And if you look at his lyrics, he talks about lies a lot, and it's always a little hard to get into that mindset of always lying, and then them lying to you and you're lying to them, and you're trying to sort of one up each other kind of thing. And that was just always a bit hard to get behind. Anyway, and of course it was sad to, of course, see him pass away before his time and everything. But when I first heard Jeff in the single Metal, I was really excited. I thought it sounded really good, but then like the second or third time I heard it, I noticed there's this really weird little phrase at the beginning of what I might call like a pre-chorus section, where he goes, "Yeah, we're all just having fun." That part, that little one phrase that shows up right before the main phrase. And I was like, well, that's an interesting touch. I don't really, that's, as a songwriter, I don't really, have not seen that done. This one phrase just sort of showing up, but then it's not really the melody of that following section. It's just kind of like a foreshadowing. And I thought, man, I don't know if Jeff came up with that, but for the band to create that song with that little deft songwriting touch, and I'm like, oh, I can get behind this. This is really clever stuff. And then I heard the next single, the Roll Me Under, and it's just as good. The band's dynamics is, if anything, greater than some of what I heard in the previous albums. And I just feel like the band is just tight, and it's amazing that Jeff can come in and at the same time make the band sound like it's a continuation from what was before, but also he has his own sort of sound to it. I think his own sound is still kind of coming in a little bit. I feel like he's not quite bringing his original spin to it, and I'm sure it will come. I think at first, in coming into a situation like Stone Temple Pilots with this heavy baggage of legacy behind him, I think the first thing that I would have in my mind is, okay, how am I going to do justice to this? And the thing that's amazing about Scott Weiland is one of those rare singers where he could change the timbre of his voice because of a different resonance. He could really sing this, punky, really sounding, really raspy stuff, or he could be really deep and baritone. John Lennon did that too, but Scott Weiland is one of the few singers where I really noticed that he had this huge range of sounds that he could really produce with his voice. That I think more singers, if you pay attention to it, could do this. but they just kind of stick to one strong sort of signature thing, most singers, and they don't really explore that. But Scott Weiland certainly did. And for Jeff to come in and to embody the range that Scott has, and of course I haven't heard him sing all the classic material, or just what's posted, but based on what he's done, I didn't know about him, so I went back to the X Factor and I watched a few of the clips, and I can see that he has the range to do that. And yeah, it's amazing again that he can do this, thing where he is presenting the old material in a way that doesn't really sound totally radically changed. But at the same time, I think he has an opportunity, especially with new songs, to sort of really bring his own thing in and just sort of evolve the band to the next stage. And I think that so far in his lyrics, I think he gets the whole glam thing and the whole psychedelic vibe of the band, and that's really encouraging. I think he should come in with a little more of his own personal spin, and I'm looking forward to seeing that. Right now it's sitting at the point of, yeah, we're doing the 70s glam thing and having a good time, and that sounds a tad on the generic side, but not bad. So I think he'll really come into his own, especially with the band members just sort of being patient and helping, encouraging him to really just feel the shoes and make it his own. So anyway, I'm really excited about Stone Temple Pilots right now, and I'm really excited about the new album. And I just want to say, I don't know if this will ever reach them, but if Jeff is watching this, I'm rooting for you. You have a big shoes to fill, and there's a lot at stake, but I think that you can do it, and you're doing it really well. So I'm looking forward to seeing what you and the band come up with. Alright, anyway, that's it for today. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.